Well, I'd like to start with thanking the city of Jacksonville. I think they do a great job of setting up a college atmosphere and pageantry for a game that is really second to none. And our players enjoy playing this environment, playing in this stadium. It's definitely a change up for us. And the mission for us is to play better football, to keep moving towards our best, and be as good as we can be. And we continue to take steps in that direction. We find a way every game to show glimpses of mistakes, but also show glimpses of promise. I'm proud of the seniors. I'm proud of the toughness and resiliency they showed in some tough times today when we had a turnover and had a goal line stand. But very happy for the effort and the toughness they showed in the off week and the work they put in to get the rewards today.
Kirby, how big was the explosive plays from the offense in the first quarter? You know, it got really took a lot of pressure off the defense and playing so well with great blocking, especially on Michelle's touchdown run.
Yeah, I think anytime you start fast, I think it says a lot about your game plan, the energy level of the kids, the preparation. You know, when you come out and start fast like that, it has a big effect. And most games aren't that way. But when you come out like that, it gives everybody a little more energy, a little more confidence. And like I always say, it's usually hard to run the ball early. And we had some success, and a lot of that goes to Coach Chaney and the offensive staff. I mean, they put together a good plan. It's more than just running the same plays we always run. There was different plays in there by design, and I thought it caught Florida a little off guard.
Coach, have you seen this offense just kind of change over the last year? I mean, this game last year, 19 carries for 21 yards.
Well, I mean, some of that Florida changed. I mean, they don't have some of the same guys up front that they had last year. Still got good players up front. Got a really good player in 93 who's probably one of the hardest guys to block in college football. So it says a lot about what our guys were able to do to improve. Says a lot that they respect, Fromm, and he makes them respect him with some throws. I feel like the wideouts are making some plays outside to loosen things up. But all that, second year in the system, offensive line's getting some movement, good backs.
Coach, what did your kids show you in a big game where they are expected to win? Everybody, the fan base especially, sometimes that's not the easiest thing in the world to do with all that kind of expectation of pressure, but what did your kids show you today in fulfilling that kind of expectation for this game?
Just what we told them. The present affects the present. Past doesn't affect the present. Anything that's happened here before, what does that have to do with this team? It has nothing to do with this team. And they talked a long time this off week about owning their burden, the burden of being a highly ranked team, to being the favorite. I mean, own the burden with your work and let it pay off on Saturdays. And they've done that.
Coach, the offense failed to score after the first 7.5 minutes of the first half. What kind of adjustments did you make to get them back on board?
I think opportunities, execution. We had some things that we stopped ourselves. And we like to think that our best is still ahead of us, but we have to continue to work to go and get better. The only way you're going to do that is you have guys totally buy into that. So it's nothing that they did or we did, it's just execution. And when we do that, we have a chance to be successful.
Coach, what are your thoughts on Jim McElwain? I mean, what he's gone through this week and all that. What are your thoughts about him?
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Jim and his family. I'm very close to him and his family, and think a lot of him. I think he's a really good football coach. As far as anything else, I'm not concerned with.
Florida got a little bit more on the ground than most teams have been able to do against you guys. Can you talk about what went into that and what you guys can improve on to kind of stop that?
Yeah, tackling. I mean, we got a lot of sloppy tackling. We don't top off. We don't knock back. They got a lot of push, a lot of area for improvement when it comes to that. And we've got to do a lot of work to improve to stop the ground game of other teams. But the number one thing is tackling, swarm to the ball, knock off. Got to do a much better job of that. And that was my disappointment in the first half.
Kirby, what the pass rush to sort of return to form tonight? It was one of the best games in quite a while for the pass rushers on your team.
Yeah, again, that's not like a magical. We just put a bunch of stuff in a jar and then did it. I mean, we worked hard on it. We tried to improve on it. I mean, you guys are a lot more concerned with that than I am. I'm a lot more concerned with affecting the quarterback. And I don't even know. I don't even know how many sacks we had, but I know we couldn't finish on the guy. I should have had a couple more. But that's not what we measure success by. At the end of the day, is how many points are on that board, and that's what we're trying to prevent.
Kirby, past is the past, but you know that Tennessee and Florida are obviously two East rivals that Georgia needs to deal with each year. You beat them 83-7 this year. Does that? I mean, did you think that was?
Yeah, I'm worried about South Carolina, to be honest with you. So the focus is on the Gamecocks and what we can do to get ready for them at this point, and that's really all we're worried about, because they got a good football team.
Kirby, one of your defensive players said that some of the guys on defense sort of came in angry, but they played disciplined and sort of had a controlled anger in this game. Is that what you've sort of been striving for as a head coach?
For them to play angry, for the players to play angry?
Disciplined and controlled anger sort of thing.
I think you want controlled aggression. We talk about, being the more physical team, being toughness, but we don't want to lose our emotions, because in this game, as I remember it and recall it, a lot of players make bad decisions and make dumb penalties. So we talk about having controlled aggression. And I thought we played with good discipline, but we didn't tackle the way we're supposed to. We didn't strike the way we're supposed to. We didn't get guys on the ground the way we're supposed to. And like you said, it was a result of a lot of rushing yards.
When a couple of Florida players had said stuff during the week, did you remind them just, don't fire back verbally?
Now, leadership group handles that. I mean, I've got to the point I don't really have to anymore. They understand. They know that we do our talking with our helmets. I mean, that's we want to have class. We want to have integrity. We really don't want to be talking to the media about the other team, because nothing you should say.
What did the older guys say, the younger guys, after that touchdown? It seemed like everybody was still very
pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pissed. I mean, you put guys in, the idea is that they go in and play to a standard, and they didn't do that. If we'd have had 85 guys here instead of 70, I'd have put 11 other ones in to put other guys in to give them an opportunity to get better. So we got some guys that we didn't get to bring that could have played better than maybe some of the guys that got to play in those opportunities. And those guys are learning a lesson from the old guys, because after the game, the old guys told them, go to class, listen in walkthroughs, pay attention, because you're the next guy up. And I don't think some of them acknowledge that, and that's my frustration with it.
Kirby, you've now got a 4,000-yard career rusher and a 3,000-yard career rusher on your roster. How unique in this day and age is it to have that?
It's tough. It's tough in the SEC. I mean, I don't know. Y'all would know the stats better than me, but to do that in the SEC is a non-rushing league. It is hard to run the ball in the SEC. So for those two young men to do that, I think it speaks volumes to them and their careers and the previous staff here and our staff. I mean, because those guys have worked hard to get that. Those things don't come easy.